John Doe, The Gospel of Sin, a study in evil. The city don't sleep, it just waits. Every night the rain comes down, wash, rinse, repeat, like the sky's trying to cleanse itself of something filthy. But no amount of water can clean what's buried deep in the hearts of men. Somewhere out there, between the neon and the shadows, walks a ghost in a trench coat. A man without a name, without a past. They call him John Doe, 'cause even evil sometimes needs an alias. He don't rob, he don't scream, he don't brag. He teaches. Every victim, a chapter, every sin, a sermon. You ever wonder what happens when someone stops seeing sin as weakness and starts seeing it as proof? Welcome to the Gospel of Sin. You're in Bambi's Twisted Tales cupcakes, where monsters become mirrors, and mirrors never lie. This ain't your average killer. John Doe's a philosopher with a scalpel. He ain't out for blood, he's out for meaning. He looked at the world and saw a cesspool, and instead of turning away, he decided to baptize it in pain. 7 sins, 7 lessons. He didn't just kill people, he built a masterpiece out of misery. He ain't a man, he's a statement. And statements don't die easy. The architect of misery. You open his notebooks, and it's like staring into a brain that don't blink. Page after page, tiny handwriting, no room for air. Every word's a confession. Every sentence, a punishment. The cops said he was crazy. Maybe. But let me tell you something. Crazy don't write thousands of pages in perfect order. Crazy don't plan years ahead. Crazy don't turn murder into scripture. Nah. John Doe was something else. He was a man possessed, not by a demon, but by an idea. He believed the world was rotten. That sin ran through every vein like poison. And he decided to do what God, the cops, and the rest of us were too scared to do. Make the world notice. But here's the kicker, kid. He didn't do it for fame. He didn't care if you liked him or hated him. He wanted you to understand him. That's what makes him dangerous. He ain't a lunatic screaming at the sky. He's a man whispering to himself and making sense. John Doe fits the textbook profile of what we call a mission-oriented killer. The type who sees murder not as pleasure, but as purification. Same mindset as the son of Sam, or the BTK guy, the belief that they're executing moral justice. But John, he took it further. He thought he was saving us, one corpse at a time. His message was simple. We tolerate sin so much we forgot it's sin. And to him, that made us all guilty. The sermon in blood. Each murder had a purpose. Gluttony, a man who ate till he burst. Greed, a lawyer who bled his clients dry. Lust, the act of desire turned into death. Every kill was a goddamn sermon. He didn't just pick victims, he picked symbols. People who represented everything he thought was killing humanity from the inside out. See, he ain't just talking to the cops. He's talking to us. You, me, the audience. He's asking, if you saw what I saw, would you still call me crazy? John Doe knew he couldn't win by running. So he won by ending. He turned himself in, quiet as a church mouse. No chase, no fight. Just surrender. But that was the trick, wasn't it? The final act, wrath. He had one sin left, and he needed a man to play it. You know the scene. The box. The horror. The quiet that follows. That was his masterpiece. He didn't just kill the innocent. He killed the idea of innocence. He made the detective Mills become wrath. And in that moment, John Doe completed the circle. He became envy. Mills became wrath. Together, they made perfection. He didn't want to live, Somerset says. He wanted to win. And that's the truth. Evil don't need to survive to succeed. It just needs to be understood. The price of knowing. What makes John Doe so terrifying ain't the killing. It's the clarity. He wasn't blind rage or madness. He was cold logic, weaponized by despair. He believed that if everyone's guilty, then there's no such thing as innocence. And if there's no innocence, there's no justice. He looked at humanity like a corpse, bloated, decayed, reeking of hypocrisy, and thought he was the Undertaker. But here's the twist, Payson. Every sin he punished, he committed himself. Pride, envy, wrath. John Doe didn't destroy sin, he became it. That's the irony, kids. The man who preached about purification drowned in the same filth he despised. But the question he left behind, that one still echoes. Are we any better? You watch Seven and you realize it ain't about John Doe. It's about us. Our apathy, our indifference, our hunger for spectacle. He just held up the mirror. We didn't like what we saw. John Doe's gone. But the sermon stays. He wanted to be remembered not as a man, but as a message. And maybe that's the scariest part. That deep down, he wasn't wrong about how ugly we've become. He was just too proud to admit he was part of it. Evil don't always wear horns, sweetheart. Sometimes it wears logic. Sometimes it just wears a suit and whispers scripture. You stare too long into evil. It starts looking back with your eyes. This has been another dark walk through the alleyways of the human mind. Brought to you by Bambi's Twisted Tales, where we pull back the curtain on madness and morality, one sinner at a time. So hit that subscribe, drop a like, and remember, in the Pizzaverse, we study the devils, so we don't become 'em. Thanks for watching.